Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Lee Grant, and today we are going to be continuing our Neetcode journey, so let's get right into it. Today we're doing top K elements. Okay, so whenever I see top K, my brain already instantly knows, okay, I have to do something with heaps. So I already have that like context in my head, just looking at that name, top K. Like I know what you're up to. So given an integer array nums and an integer k, return the k most frequent elements in the array. Okay. And an integer k, return the k most frequent elements. The test cases are generated such that the answer is always unique. Okay, so we're given these, like, this array, and it has 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and now I want to return back the two numbers that have the most repetition. So 2 has, or first off, 3 has the most repetition, right? So we include 3 in the answer, and 2 has the second most repetition. And so repetition number 1, repetition number 2, that is where we get our answer here. Okay, and then 7, 7, where k equals 1, so there's only one element to select, so we get that anyways. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I need to loop through this nums array, and I need to check how many times I see that specific number. Then what I need to do is heapify that and grab the top k elements, however many there are here. But I need to keep track of which number it is. So I'm thinking like a dictionary where the key is this number, like 3. Okay, and then the value, key value pair, the value is going to be the number of times that I've seen it. Okay, so let's start writing this out. I can make myself a little bit smaller. So I want to go through each of the elements in nums. So for element in nums, okay, I want to put it in a dictionary, right? So I need a dictionary before I do that. Equals, here we go, okay. So my dictionary indexed at element, okay, plus equals 1. So I want to increase the value by 1 at this key, but we want it to default, like if we don't have an element in our dictionary yet, we want it to start at 0. So actually I want this to be a default dictionary, equals default and we're gonna have integers in here. Okay, so now the other thing that I know that I want to do, because we're looking at top k elements, okay, and when I use the heapify, Python's heapify is actually a min heap, so it always gets the lowest. So I know that I actually need to negate all of the values which I am trying to identify. What I mean by that is, like, this 3 right here has 1 repetition, 2 repetition, 3 repetitions. And the number of repetitions is what I am trying to find the highest of. But because Python only allows me to search the lowest, I actually need to swap the positive sign with the negative sign. So I'm going to say that there's -3 repetitions. So instead of saying plus equals 1, I'm actually just going to say minus equals 1. So each time I see a repetition, I'm actually just going to decrease that number so that the key with the highest number of repetitions has the largest negative value. So, okay, now once we come here, we have a dictionary of key value pairs where the key is the physical number and the value is the number of repetitions. Okay. So now I need to I might need to like put it into a form that I can actually manipulate. So I might need to do like a list possibly of X and Y for X. We're gonna figure out what we're trying to do exactly in a few seconds. Now, dictionary has 3 things. I can do items, I can do value, and I can do key. I want items, and I think it returns key and value. I believe that's the way that it does it. So now I want the first element in my list to be the value, because that's what we're going to heapify on, right? And then I want key to keep track of like which number was it. So my list is equal to here. Okay. So now I have a list where there's elements in it. Each element the first one is going to be value, and the second one is going to be key. Do I need to do something kind of like this, where it's like a tuple within a... I'm not sure. I might need to do that, but print my list. Let's just see what it comes up with. Parentheses around the... Oh, okay, well, it's forcing me to do it anyways, so... Yeah, that's what I want. So the first element here is going to be the number of repetitions, but negated. 2, 2, 3, 3, and then this number right here is the actual like number within the list that we want to return back, right? Like this has 2 and this has or 2 and 3 right here. And then 7, we don't want to return 2 because it appears twice. No, we want to return the actual number, which is 7. So we need to return eventually the key of the most repetitions. Okay, so now heap q dot heapify my list. Okay, now for I in range, and what was this one called? K. In range K, so we're going to iterate through K times to obtain K elements from my heapify. So I need a results list, so that's what they want me to return it in. And now each time I am going to pop, so current equals heap q dot heap pop from my list. So I'm popping from my list and I get back the lowest element. And now I want to put that lowest element's key, number of repetitions, into my results list. So results dot append current index.1. So I keep doing that until we finish with our K. Return results. So what if there's no elements in here? K is K guaranteed to be like bigger? Number of distinct elements in the group. Yeah, so K is guaranteed to be less than the number of distinct elements in the nums array, so we don't need to like do a whole bunch of checking like, oh, is it empty or anything. If it's empty, we're not going to add anything, and then we're not going to go in here, and then we're just going to return this empty list. So let me just try that and see what happens. Hey, there we go. Awesome. So let's look at the solution and see if that's kind of the way that he was going about things. Okay, so for num in nums, so going through the list and creating a dictionary equals 1 plus count dot get num 0. Okay. So now creating an array for num count in count items. So items is going to return key value. So key is the number, value is the count or the repetition. Okay, that's what I did as well. He appends to his list, I created my list up here, called it my list, count first, and then the actual number. Yep, so my number was key, value is count, yeah. Then did sort. Okay, so he kind of didn't use the heap method. He just sorted on the count. So he sorted on the count, and now the count is going to be from highest to smallest, which is why he didn't do any negating up here. That's why I was like, oh, okay. Strange. Now I get why he didn't do that, because he's using the sort and not the heap function. So result, and then he goes through and pops from the heap and gets the first element, which is the number. Awesome. Okay, well here's a min heap. Bucket sort. Oh, interesting. So, Okay, well he does the same thing here. Heap. So he's getting the keys and pushing to the heap. Okay. Count num. So he has the key, he hashes on that key, gets the count, okay, and then puts in the actual number. But count goes first, okay, so that's kind of similar to what I was doing. But he's not negating, is he? I mean, I would expect there to be a negative sign right there. That's why I'm a little bit confused. If length Alright, I'm gonna go down to bucket sort and then see if I can figure out what's happening here. Top K frequent. So I have a dictionary, I have frequency, and I have an empty list that has. So how many empty lists within my big list do I have? I have the number of elements in nums. Okay. For num in nums, count plus equals count.get. For num, count in count.items, frequent.append. For I in range. So we're going through, starting at the length of frequency minus 1, going to 0, and then decrementing each time. For num in frequency I. Frequency I is here. I think what he's trying to do here is not have to worry about keeping track of key value pair. Instead, the position of this array, because there's like, let's say length is, I don't know, 3 or 5, right? Then I'm going to have 5 of these empty arrays, and then I can kind of index on the position and put the frequency in the position where the index is actually keeping track of the information of what number it represents. Okay. Yeah, which is what he's doing right there, and then appending that number. Okay. Although, if he's appending the number, that's actually the opposite of what I just said. Count, don't know. No, frequency here, yeah. Indexed at count. Yeah, frequency here. Indexed at count, because count... No, this is actually opposite of what I was thinking. Because I was thinking that you would be indexing on number to keep track of that information. That's not what he's doing here. He's indexing on count. So he's getting the top. He's getting the top elements, like the most frequent elements, and then stopping once he gets to K. Once result has a length of K. So frequent is going to have the highest frequency at the last index. And so that's how he does that, okay? Frequency. Okay, I might have to think about this one a little bit more. I'm like at a 60% understanding of what he's doing here, but I might need a lot more time to look over this one and try to figure out how exactly this one's working. I also need to figure out, let me just do like, let's see, count, it was a dictionary. Okay, so tell me about count, or the .get function. Allows you to retrieve a value for a specific key pair safely without raising an error. Okay, so we're just getting... Is this the key right here? Value, yeah. So we get back a value and put in a key here. And if it doesn't exist, I think we don't get an error. If key does not exist, get returns a default value instead. which is optional. Default is none if not provided. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna look through this a little bit more, try to figure out what they're doing here. But anyways, we were able to get the min heap method, so that's cool. And yeah, I will be back soon with another video and continuing on the Neetcode path. Anyways, have a wonderful rest of the day. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and goodbye.